Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Soulganize Your Life, where we just discern the difference between the ego and the soul. The outer circumstances of our lives are stimulating both the ego and the soul. And what I would call the ego is a psychological sense of separation, and the soul is our divine connection to all that is. So, why is it important to know the difference? Well, this is where our guests come in to help us out. They help us relate to this inner conflict within ourselves and gives us ideas and healing techniques on how to integrate these two perspectives into one full human experience. And today our guest is on the other side of the world. It's 11 a.m. here and it's 10:30 p.m. there. He's in India. His name is Anuj Kumar Bhatia. And I'm so excited to talk to him. We're fellow numerologists, but we're not going to talk about that most likely today. We're going to talk about another healing modality that he is certified in and has lots of success in on the other side of the world. So thank you so much for being here and jump on in.
Thank you so much, Win, for taking me into this podcast of yours. And it's my privilege to be part of this podcast and would be happy to share, what I have been discussing, speaking. And I believe, most important is I believe in that. And a lot of people are getting benefit with that healing technique because it's all about, understanding yourself. That's what I can see.
Yeah. And your healing technique is coming from another side of the world,
Yes.
Hawaii, that we're going to talk about. But first, I want to just, I ask everyone that comes on the podcast, when did you first realize that there was a difference, that there was a small, separate sense of yourself that we call the ego, and that it was causing you some level of suffering? And when did you also become aware of that there was something you could do about it?
Yeah, sure, Vin. So, let me start my story from my background. I come from a middle class family of India, and, where the societal pressures, because India is a huge country where the societal pressures are very high that the child should be studying this, doing this, and doing this. They are all defined maps and paths. It's not like the Western world. It's very different here because here,
Mhm.
as soon as the child is born and growing up, he's or she is oriented that you should either become a medical practitioner or engineer or some defined stream. So as
Mhm.
I was growing from a middle class family, that was the thought process. And slowly as I grew up, I felt that, yes, I need to perform the same way as my family has been saying, as my neighbors has been saying. And slowly and steadily, what you call as ego or a false sense of success, that is what I call it, that I
Right.
want to succeed, and my parameters were I will get x y materialistic things and I would be happy with that. That is how I was growing. And as I grew, I have been my other side of the story is I have been for last 2 decades working and serving poor people in the social sector. So that's what my actual background, and that is this place where when I did my rural management and I started working with rural poorest of the poor in the villages, that is where I realized that, no, this is not what success or what happiness is for you. So what kind of happiness you are defining and what you want, I started slowly and steadily realizing. And that is where the journey started, that yes, you have to change. And I think social sector and working with people, poorest of the poor people in Africa, like Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Benin, Ghana, Republic of Niger, I worked in all these countries beside India. And when I worked with these people, I felt one word: serving. And
Mhm.
serving gives you a lot of satisfaction. So I always say, irrespective of its healing, working for the people, needy people, it's all about one word: serving. And that is how it changed and it started. So this is
Wow.
what has been the starting journey with me. And like any other common Indian, I don't know about the world, but common Indian, my success was defined by achieving X education, X money, X position, X this. And that is where was I was moving on, but I was really feeling something is missing out. And this social sector came in and it allowed me to get this knowledge and understanding deeper and deeper.
So how did you get the courage to go against the grain like that? What was your instigation?
So let me when I went for this social sector, I was a completely urban oriented guy. I was born and brought up in an urban town,
Mm,
and I had no understanding of the rural sector. And as we say, universe is there, and universe takes care of you. So one fine morning, I was in my college. My dad called that I am retiring after 3 years. You have to take care of me, your family, and my family, so you need to see a job for yourself.
ah,
One of my friend in that college told, why don't you give this exam which is called rural management? It's very unique, it's not in many parts of the country, but this is a very, very good exam in India, but it was quite new. So I said, I don't know anything about rural, I am trying to go for international business and all this and all this. So he said, you need a job, they say that you can get a job in this. That is how I gave this exam. And after giving my exam, when I was called for the interview, they said, why you want to be in this course? I said, I just want to see a village, and then I want to go back into my corporate world or studies, and I want to do that. Still my name came, and that is how universe kept working. And in this course, they take you to a village for 10 days, 10 odd days, where in a remote village, no electricity, no water.
hmm,
There I met the villagers, the communities, very poor communities, and they blessed you like anything. And that
really?
is where my first realization came, that I have landed in a right place. Because I don't know, it was giving a very different kind of happiness and satisfaction. So I felt, oh wow, this, what is this is happening? And that is where I was not able to really put it into words, but I was really feeling so happy when I was able to do small things for these villages at that point of time. And that is how my journey turned into the social sector. And then after a while, almost 10 or 15 years again in the social sector, I kept working, and I felt that yes, I'm serving, but somewhere still I am into that world of ego and positioning. And then I moved into this realization came one day that, Anuj, you need to understand what exactly you are doing and how much it is satisfying you. It was, but something added to it is what I entered into healing, where I was able to serve the people directly, and that gives me immense satisfaction. So this is
Yeah.
how my journey has been. I think I've tried
So,
to give you a brief.
so it's interesting you use the word serving because you were brought up in a sense to serve. Your family said, okay, you have to support your, grandparents or whatever, your family. But that sense of serving was make money doing something you maybe don't care about or want to do. So it's interesting that you had this moment where someone actually blessed you in this village where you could clearly see they didn't have the materialism that you were taught you were supposed to go get. So you have this blessing, and then you go, oh, wait a second. This is what it means to actually be of service. It's not just about creating personal gain for myself. It's about creating
Exactly.
powerful situations of healing for other people. And that's just so beautiful. And then you said, and it was not dramatically one day, it was like over a period of time,
Over a
but
period
it
of
was
time.
continuing to be within the human element, which often people like myself, we leave the human element to go meditate and to find oneness, but your oneness was completely opposite of that experience. You were with humans, you're just having a human
Exactly.
experience. That's really beautiful.
Because I felt that that outer world gave me a light to understand who you are, what you love, and what exactly you want to. So that is where my first turn happened, when I went into the rural work and all that. And as I moved on, as I speak about the healing technique, which we will discuss, that happened when I found that yes, I am working with the rural communities, helping them out, but side by side, my passion has always been to understand, to have a space for yourself within yourself. It is,
Mm.
I don't know the words in English, but in Hindi, what we say in our language, to have a space for yourself within yourself, because
Oh,
most of the people have lost that with the external thought process. And that is where this healing, which I called as Ho'oponopono healing process, which is a Hawaiian technique, and it completely focuses on you. I will tell you the 4 lines for that, and then I have been into that advanced version also, and this is what has been the journey till now.
yeah. So when you say create space for yourself within yourself, that's kind of what I like to point out in the podcast is there's two sort of things always happening. There's this I mean, you have a human body, which is a whole nother thing, but you have this story, right, that takes up all the space. And then you have the soul who that's, in your words, you called it the I, that's saying, like whenever you're ready, let's blow this out. Let's create a whole space for you to have this little separate sense of yourself and ego, but also see that that's not all there is. There's this whole other spaciousness within you that you can create. Is that accurate, what I'm saying?
So, usually when we speak in the traditional or the conventional world, I means ego,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So, yes, I means ego, but that ego is from the outside world. It is created through your external environment, external processes, external orientation, external thoughts. That if you don't do this, you are a failure. If you do this, you are a great. And that is where that I plays that role. What I call I is the internal soul, which you said, inner soul. And this speaks about surrender. This
Hmm.
speaks about acceptance. This speaks about loving yourself. This
Hmm.
speaks about knowing yourself, and that I is very important. Where so when I say soul, yes, so I has to be understood very clearly. When it is I as an ego, arrogance, it's outside. When it is I as inside as a soul, there you need to realize. So most of the time we go and try to see the external world, we work at the actions level, but we usually forget that there is lot within us, and that is where you have to realize who you are, when what you love, how
Yeah.
much you have given time to yourself, how
Yes.
much your and the inner and external wind has been discussing, speaking, appreciating, loving, embracing each other. That is very important, and that is where somewhere I feel people are losing touch, and that is the I which I call. So you are right, but this is the way I define it.
Yeah, and what I love about what we're saying is you're saying yourself, right? Make room for yourself, but yourself is sort of two different experiences. It's this thing you were taught by external society that tells a big story, but then there's a deeper sense of you which can really create a whole bunch of space around the ego, and then you can love both of them. You can love that you have a
Exactly.
personality and a conditioning, and like I really believe it's okay for me to say I'm American, but it's more powerful for me to say but humans are more important than just my American viewpoint. I want my viewpoint, I want my American viewpoint, but I also don't want it to be more important than your viewpoint, right? And in fact,
Very
when
well.
both of our viewpoints are together and we have a more common connection, that viewpoint's even greater. And so whether you're looking at the self from the ego or the higher self, you can love both of them and you can accept that they are not going anywhere. And you're
Right.
here as a human to have a whole
Yes.
experience. And so I love kind of how you frame that with the I. So since we're already kind of halfway through the podcast, let's jump into your healing technique. How did you find it and how have you seen it work?
So thank you. So when actually most of the time I call it universe. Most of the time I think universe has been directing me not in a structured way, but many of the times I always, even my social work, I used to say, don't try to judge others,
Hmm.
learn from them, embrace errors for yourself. Because changing others, a lot of people are working. Changing yourself, nobody is working, so you should work on that. So this is how I started with. It was unstructured, but when I met my coach, his name is Mitesh and Indu Khatri. They are very well known life coaches as well as corporate coaches in India. And I then actually understood that there is a technique which is called as Hawaiian technique by the name Hoponopono, and this is a very scientific technique where we consider this answer would be a bit long, so that I can tell you that what exactly it works, so that your audience and our audience can know. So what we believe, there are few facts. We believe we are all one at the energy level. So at the universe level, our all, so you and me connecting is not a coincidence. It
Right.
is actually your frequency and my frequency at one point of time matched. Frequencies, like, in the radio you get
Yep.
channels, and if you, in the earlier times, now we have all electronic, but earlier we used to adjust the channels, so it is called frequency. So when we
Agree.
call that in the universal level, when two frequency match, then only we meet each other and we speak to each other, right? So
Yes.
this is the first
Agreed.
fact. So everybody is having energy within. So that's what, when the energy goes out, it's a body, otherwise it's energy inside you are living. So this is first fact we believe. Second thought is that at the energy level, when we work, first logical part is energy can't be created nor destroyed. Everybody knows this is a clear formula. So energy can be only transformed and transferred. So that's the logical part. It is nothing called just spiritual. It is actually a very logical exercise which we do, that we transfer our energies to another person, and that is where the change happens. This is the second fact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now come the magical part. So this was the logical part. Second comes the magical part. Magical part is, we usually say we don't know how, we don't know when, but it will happen. That is what, if there is a person who has come for me to healing, I tell them, because I am not the person who is guaranteeing you in 5 days, 2 hours this will happen. No, it
Yeah.
is to the universe. We
Hmm.
and you will, but it will happen. This is the magical part. How it
Yes.
will happen also, I don't know. So how it will happen, when it will happen, I don't know. Third comes the spiritual part. If you want to practice healing, firstly you should heal yourself, and
Yes.
that is where the spirituality part comes. If you are not healed and you are trying to so if you are hungry and trying to give another bread to someone, it's like your mind would be still that I'm giving my half bread to win, huh? I will not. So you heal yourself first to
Yes.
heal others. So
Yeah.
this is what the facts about it.
Yes.
Second concept is, we call it as HRCM: health, relationships, career, and money. These are the four areas of a human being. If these four are balanced from energy level, you live a happy life.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you have a lot of money, but your health is bad. It doesn't help. You have great health, but your relationships are very poor. It doesn't
Yes.
help. So HRCM is the importance. So these are few facts. There are many more which we can always discuss, but just coming. So this healing speaks of four lines, and they have a vibration. We work at the frequency level, it's a vibration, and this is very, very proven. Anybody can go on the YouTube and see. This is Oponopono healing practice, everybody does. I do advance, that is bit different, but I'll speak about the basic. So there are four lines. I am sorry. So whatever you
Oh
want
my
to
goodness. I
reconsider,
am sorry.
please forgive me.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. I
Thank
am
you.
sorry. What'd
Please
you say?
forgive me.
Please
So
forgive me.
first line is yes. So for example, just to give you a situation, there is one of my, I would say, one of the person who is taking healing lady. She's going with panic attacks. She can't sleep. She has a lot of anxiety. She has a fear. She's a 28 years girl, and she feels that she will die today. That's what the fear was. She has gone
Yeah.
to psychiatrists everywhere, but on my LinkedIn profile, when she saw healer, she tried me. And what
Nice.
I told her that now start focusing on yourself. Don't work on anything. If you want to work on health, your health. If you want to work on your father's health, also you would be doing, because you are working with me, not your father. If you want to work on relationships, you may say that my my life partner has this kind of bad thing, so I no, I will work with you. Don't judge her, him. I will work on you. So you have to say, I am sorry. To whom? To yourself, to your hubby, to the environment, to the laptop. So we say everything has life and energy, and we say, I am sorry. That's my first line.
I love
Second
it.
is, second is, please forgive me.
I love it. Oh my
Third
goodness.
is, thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much. Okay.
fourth is, I love you.
Wow.
So, you, for example, you are scared. So say, dear fear, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Mm.
I love you. And this is the way you keep
Oh.
doing, and the magic will happen. And anyone, everyone,
So you said this to your
anything,
fear.
everything.
You say this to your
Yes.
anxiety.
So we say this to fear, anxiety, self
Mm.
doubt. So before an interview, a lot of people come to me. I say, just take the name of the person or the company. It's very logical. You will say, dear X company, or dear job, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I need this job. Dear job, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Oh, sorry. It
No,
was
you're good. I can still
disconnected
hear
in
you.
between.
Yeah, I can still hear you. You know, when I'm with
Okay.
a client,
So,
I often
so
say, even though I'm feeling anxious, I still love and accept myself. So I like would teach someone like to put their hands on their heart and say, even though I have anxiety, I still love and accept myself, or I forgive the belief that it's not okay for me.
we are
So,
done. That's
but I love these statements better. They feel so
yes.
genuine. They just feel so not. They just feel so genuine. And you're saying you say it to the idea or the thought
To
or the feeling.
anything, to
Yeah.
anything, means to electricity, to a laptop. We believe there is energy in everything, and you can say and you
Yeah.
dare tell. But especially in health, relationships, career, money. So we try to heal people in four areas to have a balanced life. And if
Mm,
they come with, suppose I have another case who comes with a relationship issue. She has a relationship issue with the father and mother. So now we say relationship is very important, because
yes.
just to give you an example, with your parents, relationship with your parents, because your the blood and everything, so it's like a plant. So parents are source. They are good, they are bad, you are critical about them,
Yeah.
it's okay. But today, if you want to have a better relationship with them, then you have to work on the source. Or you want to be successful in your life, suppose you say I am not able to do this, or my health issues, we always say connect yourself to your source. So
Mm,
if they are no more there, just from the heaven you should request them, tell them. Or if they are there, you should connect to your source, because source is important, roots are important
mm,
to let the plant grow. So these are the kind of things. So these are four lines, but there are many more techniques. I use emotional freedom technique, then there
mm,
is called neuro linguistic programming, and all that others I use, but this
yes.
is the most common healing. And then there is an advanced version to it, where which is again a part where we say I take 100% responsibility. So for a situation, so it's many of the times many of the clients says, Anuj, what you are talking, the man is such a bad man, he has another lady, and you are trying to tell me I take 100% responsibility. I said,
Yes.
sorry, you have to accept. And that is where this healing practice is about: acceptance,
Yes.
surrender. And that is where I comes. You should love yourself, you should accept that there is something wrong. If there is saying that the man comes, the lady has another person, I said, you first you have to accept yourself that you have done something wrong, and you have to tell universe whatever has gone happen, where we say, be conscious, unconscious, physically. So there are specific techniques which I use, and this is what I have been doing. But yes, anything, if there is nothing, at least use these four sentences: morning 108 times, evening 108 times, with the problem you have. I guarantee on your podcast that the solution would be, they will get that solution to it, they will come out of it 100%. I don't know
Yeah.
how, I don't know when, but it will happen.
So so your example of, a man being unfaithful to his wife, like in 100%, it seems you're right. The behavior, the woman's not causing the behavior, and the woman isn't responsible for his behavior, but she's responsible for her reaction to it and for her understanding that there's something more going on, and the answer doesn't come from my ego, it comes from my soul. And as I forgive my ego's response and I connect to my soul and surrender, and I say these four lines 108 times, that there is a power there that we can't understand.
The universe
Yeah.
actually, these sentences have vibration scientifically, which
Yeah.
matches the frequency for the universe. And then universe will start seeing the situation, good, bad, whatever it is, the universe will take care of. The most important thing is, another thing which we call it as I was sharing, FTBA model. That is my coach who has made me learn, thanks to
Mm-hmm.
Mitesh again. So that is called as feelings,
Mm-hmm.
thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
beliefs, and
Yep.
actions. Again,
Yep.
this is very scientific. When you saw Anuj profile, you first time you might have felt, okay, let me see. I see healing word. Okay, let me check afterwards. And then afterwards, your thought would have come somewhere universe brings, and some thoughts you develop. And then slowly a belief comes, no, let me take Anuj on my podcast. Maybe he shares something which is, and then the action happens. You and me are talking together. So,
Yes.
so if any action has to happen, it has to start from the feeling, thoughts, belief, and action. So that is where the person who feels a situation is bad, for example, a person feeling, why every time job I lose a job, why?
Mm,
Because it's not about your action, it is about your frequency. We call
that's
it
right.
frequency, and that is your feelings. In your
Yep.
feelings, you already have a doubt, I would not be able to do this work, I am so aged, they might say that these skills are required, I don't have. So you have communicated to the universe, I can't do. Then
That's
at the
right.
action level, you keep on working on 16 hours, they will say thank you, you are fired, you are not required here anymore. So
You
that's
know,
what
it's
it is.
funny.
So
In
we
in America, we talk about thoughts are always king, right? Thoughts, and I my mission is to say your feelings should be king, right?
Yes,
Because the ego is full of beliefs and thoughts and like judgment of the results that you get from those. But a feeling is right now. It's in the moment. I feel, I intuit, whatever my feedback is, it should be more important to you. And I love what you just said, that it starts with feelings, because in America, psychology starts with thoughts, right? And
exactly.
so I hope that feelings, but people have been afraid of their feelings and talked out of them. So there's a whole healing there to help people understand your feelings
Yes.
are not against you, they're just feedback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we start working at the feeling level. So if you have anxiety, it's a very common feature. You will have anxiety for your health, for your
Yes.
relationships, for your behavior. So it will go across your all areas. So let's work on anxiety and at that feeling level. Anxiety is a feeling. So we start working on
It
that.
is.
Then you have a thought and belief and then actions. So this is what we call it as
Oh,
FTDA. So in short,
you really, I love, like, I so agree with everything you say. You're on the other side of the world and we totally connect. I get it. I have
thank
like
you.
one last, this is going so fast, but I have one question that I want to go back to about something you said, where you said that energy is neither created nor destroyed, right? What do you think if the ego isn't real and if it's a false ball of energy? Do we transform it if we don't destroy it? We don't create it. It's not created out of, right, nothing. What would you really hone in on as far as energy and the ego and um
So yeah. Thank you. So ego is so energy can be negative, positive. Energy is always energy, but you may give a form to it, either a negative energy or a positive. And that is what we call as negative frequency or a positive frequency. So
Mhm.
ego usually is created by outside, as I told. So,
Yes.
the change has to be at the belief level,
Hmm.
where many of the people, so just give you an example. Many of the people say, I do so much of work, and still those guys, they always promote him and they are not seeing me. This is what the problem is, because your ego level is your insecurity. The feeling is insecurity, feeling
Yes.
is animosity, feeling is jealousy. So you at the feeling level, you are just feeling that these people are growing and I not, right? So you are always trying to compare yourself with the external, and that is where the ego comes, your
Yep.
arrogance comes, and then either you leave the thing or they will ask you to leave, then something will happen, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Has to be converted into a positive frequency, and that's the reason we say the actions would automatically change, the environment will automatically change
Yes.
your frequency. We call this as frequency. This is the way we always tell people, change your
Yeah.
frequency. Don't try to see why others are getting and you are not getting. No, no, no.
Yes.
You try to see what I have and what I need to grow. So it is just not healing. You suppose you are doing healing and you understand I have to grow on 5 skills scientifically. So start. You will automatically start healing. Healing would help you towards that path to get yourself go up with your new skills,
Mm.
new. So the most important thing is, the ego in outside has to change into, that I outside has to change into internal I, your soul,
Yes.
where
Mm.
you start realizing, no, I have no competition with anyone. I surrender myself. Firstly, the most important thing is I need to surrender. We
Yeah.
don't surrender to the universe. We try to do everything. I will do my, and that I is wrong. I
Sure.
will do, I can, yes, who is there?
Bend it
So
to
that is
my
surrender.
will.
so, so surrender word in itself is very small, but it needs a huge change in your attitude and behavior and your feeling levels, that I surrender you, universe. things start happening. And this is what usually I do, 40 minutes sessions like this with people, via Zoom. And that is where I tell them that start these habits. Another important thing which I would like to share, Win, is
Yeah.
gratitude. Is gratitude.
Mhm.
This is very, very important word. Ask anybody what you want in your life. I want this. What you have in your life? What I have means, it's basic, nothing much. No, what you have, million billion people don't have. Thank
Mm,
that. And even if it's hard times, even if hard times, because life is about good times, bad times, good times, bad times, this will happen. But even in bad times, if you have gratitude to the universe, automatically things work. And
yeah.
people don't have this gratitude habit. So many of the people, I give them an exercise: morning, wake up, do 10 gratitudes, and they find it difficult. And the another challenging task which I give, and I'm giving to all the audiences who will be watching this, that do 10 gratitudes for next 30 days. And the condition is those 10 gratitudes should not get repeated in the next day.
Oh,
And you
wow.
will, so it is 300 gratitudes you have to do, which is huge task, humongous task. But if
Yes.
you ask them what you don't have, in 1 hour they will give you 300 things. I don't have this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want
Yes.
this. It's like, you I'm a kid and I tell my father, get me this ice cream, get me this chocolate, get. So the father says, have this ice cream today, tomorrow we'll see rest of the things, right? Tomorrow you'll say, what, papa, you don't give me anything, only one ice cream, I want chocolate, I want this and that. So you say, what he will be, you say, this boy is never satisfied, shut up, sit down on the side. So
That's the ego right there.
that so this is what you
Won't
have
shut
to
up, never
understand.
satisfied.
That's what I would say. Gratitude is very important. We should do, and
Yeah.
these all things are part of my healing, part of my coaching.
So I love you said that you do things on Zoom. So that means that even people in America can reach out to you if,
Sure. Yes.
yes.
Anybody from anywhere can reach out to me. I have one or two clients from London actually. So they are already having sessions with me.
Yeah.
And God willing, thanks universe that it is happening for them on relationships and career. That is what their area is. So I usually take what do you want, as what is your issue. That's the process. But I slowly take them through all the four areas, because what they say may not be the real reason. I have to slowly go towards a root cause. So you may say I have a health issue, but actually your root cause might be the relationship which is really
Yes.
creating problem. And because this is all about energy and it's all
Yeah.
about universe, so that is how I do. And I have a website where people can reach me.
Yeah. And
That
what
is
is that?
it's anujmycoach.com. That's
So
all, very simple.
ANUJ, mycoach.com.
M, yes, no,
Yeah.
no space, anujmycoach.com. And
I
they can
love it.
reach me.
And I really appreciate this talk about energy and thinking. I kind of am taking away a lot, but beyond that, just how you, it's not really, we don't want to negate our ego. We just want to surrender and then convert it in a loving
Correct.
way. Right. You, like you said, I'm just sorry, please forgive me. Thank you so much. And I love you. Like that gives me peace saying that about my own anxiety. It's just, it's wonderful, wonderful.
And if we do, it means, time may not permit, but if we do, I can guarantee you for 21 times, you can take any topic and let's do this 21 times and you will see huge change. You will see you are so calm, so settled, peace. So this is one part where I heal people and then I take them to law of attraction. So now, since you are healed, now you can get whatever you want from the universe,
Love
because
it.
universe is there to give you. It is you
Yes.
who is not able to take it. Your
Oh
way of, so you are trying to snatch, nobody will give you. You bow down, surrender, universe is waiting, they're waiting, come, I'll give you.
my
But nobody
gosh.
is ready to surrender, everybody wants, take it. So
Wow.
we'll say it's okay. So that's the law of attraction part which I work on. That's another topic, big one. But once you are healed, then I take them to the law of attraction, and then I call that life is about 30% your destiny, 30 to 35%. So that is your numerology, astrology,
Yes.
palmistry. But rest of the part is you can attract from the universe what you want, and then you go for manifestations, you go for all other things, which I get them done. So this is a
Yes.
complete journey which we do. And
I love,
also there is one part which I do chakra healing. There are chakras, chakras.
yes.
So I
Yes.
work on those, but
Mhm.
that's very very ahead. I do with very less people. Most of the time I heal, and then people are very happy and they say it's okay. I said okay, no worries, be happy with that. So this is what it is. But if there are few people who want chakra healing, I do that, because every chakra has a personality to be developed in you, and law of attraction, chakra healing is very much required in that. But this is usually I do most of the time Hoponopono healing.
Well,
Yes.
thank you for all of your training because it also sounds like you're a one-stop guy. I mean, you kind of come in and help calm the nervous system, and then you start to work through like, okay, now that your nervous system is calm and you're not snatching for things, you can be like you said, the universe is just waiting to be like, I have all these gifts, like let me bestow one on you if you just quiet yourself and surrender, and then you
Yes.
take them through chakra healing. So, thank you for all your continued training. I'm guessing you're a healer for life and you just keep learning. So, thank you because we need it
Okay,
everywhere.
thank you so much. Thanks for this opportunity to
Yeah,
reach larger audience. I really love, because the most important thing in healing is reach as many people you can, serve
that's
as many people you can. And
yeah.
this is, I would like to firstly thank you, gratitude, Vin, for giving me this chance, because I am sure it will reach hundred and million of people, whoever are seeing, and they will get benefited because of you. That is what I can feel.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I wish you a good night.
Thank you so much. Bye.